Good morning from the Travelers Camp Fest, and whatever. I forgot what Randy called it the other day. Anyways, good morning. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, traveling with a pet can sometimes have some challenges. And in my case, my Aussie was a rescue dog. He was raised in a shelter. They put him in when he was a very small puppy and decided he was unadoptable. I guess maybe he bit somebody, or maybe he tried to bite somebody, or was a little aggressive or something. Anyway, so when I first was given Ozzy, the person who gave him to me didn't really ask me if I wanted him. They just said, "He's yours, see ya, have a nice day, I'm late for work." So I've always felt like, I was given this challenge to take care of this dog, and I love him, and we together have worked on loving him into a pretty good dog, and he really is doing wonderfully. This time out, he's doing a fabulous job. So yesterday, I enjoyed being at the fire pit until about 10:30 at night, and I did some singing, which I really love to do. And I came back, and he was on the floor in the tent portion of our comfortable SUV, camper, RV, whatever you want to call it. And he was crying like he was hurt. And I was like, oh no, how long has that been going on? I was having so much fun, and I never heard him because I was a distance away. And of course, I reached down to pick him up, and then I realized that picking him up, he yiped more. So we went through a little process of elimination, trying to figure out what was wrong, and I couldn't really deduce what the problem was. So Dave Diffner's parked near me, and he's a friend, and Ozzy trusts him as well as me. And so Dave's door was open, and I went over and said, "Dave, please help me try to figure out what's going on with Ozzy." He was crying, and he goes, Dave said, "I heard that. I thought it was coyotes." He goes, "I had no idea. I would have checked on him." So I put Ozzy down inside his rig, and Ozzy just went quickly hunting for what he considers safe spots in Dave's house. And he has a little kind of pillow dog bed thing over at Dave's house for when he occasionally stays with Dave. Like if I'm going shopping and it's a hot day, sometimes Dave will let him stay in his rig with him. So the process of elimination was not working really well, and I went hunting for someone in the group that might be veterinary-like and couldn't find one. Came back. Dave said, he's not connecting his eyes with mine very well. Maybe he's had a mini stroke. And I said, yeah, or avoiding a large dog today. We had to walk through tall grass. Maybe I didn't notice a cactus, and he's got a cactus spine or something. And I said, but I know we walked through foxtail things. Any of you that knows about dogs and foxtails and cactus, they get them in their fur. And foxtails are these, I don't have one to show you, but they're these really sharp barb-like things that look a lot like a fishing lure for fly fishing. And once they start to work their way through hair or whatever, or your sock, they just are designed so that they continue to bury themselves in your skin or whatever. They're very painful. When I first had Ozzy one year, I was traveling with Al Christensen and Lou Broshi. No, what's his last name? Lou, anyways, with the Vardo. And Ozzy got into cactus in New Mexico, and the surgery to get the cactus out of his feet cost $500. So not looking forward to that. Anyway, so last night, over the last 5 years that I've had Ozzy, we have worked hard to train him to, one of the things I do to check his the status of like his feet are a painful thing is I will sit where I can sit with my legs out straight, and I will lay Ozzy upside down between my knees and kind of hug him with my knees as I like check feet or whatever. And because I know that dogs can understand about 500 words of English language, I trained him early on to let Mama do this. And so the 2 words Mama do when he's hurt helps to calm him down, but it's kind of the code words that I taught him to allow me to help him. This is the first time that last night was the first time that when I did that with him, he actually held one of his paws up for me. Now, I couldn't deduce whether he had a problem with his ear. It was all left side. Whether he had a problem with his ear or his rib or his front leg and paw. So I still don't 100% know. But I found a lot of the foxtails and was able to get rid of those and get them out of our rig. And then I've tried to make Ozzy as comfortable as possible. Now, when he was at Dave's, I needed to bring him home because it's not Dave's responsibility. He's my dog. And he would have been glad to have spent the night over there, but that's not Dave's responsibility. So, fortunately, we came with a car carrier for Ozzy, and it took up quite a large amount of space, and it's a little hard for me to maneuver. And so that's going to go home, and thank you that Dave had space to put it in his rig for the next time he goes to Witchwell. We'll drop it off. And it probably is going to go to Jen for her cat. But Sylvia, one of our other friends, has a cat named Salem, who's really cute, and she actually can walk with her cat. And Salem had a carrier on wheels that's also a backpack, and he wasn't using it much. So last night, brilliant idea, because she gave it to me when Salem was done with it. It's this backpack that not all the way. Oh, there you go. That's a pretty good picture, I believe. So the blue and black is Ozzy's one of Ozzy's blankies that he loves. Anyway, so this carrier, I remembered that it was kind of new, but Ozzy was liking it. New to Ozzy, but he was liking it. So I took that over to Dave's, unzipped in the front, and enticed him to go in, and he did. And then we zipped the door, and I brought it over here and put it in the the rear driver's side seat that I always leave sitting up. And he slept in that with the door shut all night last night. And then this morning, he did feel like coming out, and he didn't yip as much. So I checked him again, and I don't see as many problems. I think you can kind of see that. And so we checked him again, but he's been back and forth in and out of that safe spot, is what I'm going to call it for him, that carrier. So it's nice that especially with dogs who have had, a challenging history, providing them a place that's safe for them, where they can, where they can calm themselves down. Now, I do happen to use trazodone for Ozzy. We had the ACE, which is a nickname for one of the other medications you can give to dogs to, like, calm them down for grooming and things like that. The ACE, Ozzy has epilepsy, and the ACE was causing Ozzy to have heart attacks and seizures. So the vet switched him over to trazodone. I haven't chosen to give him trazodone yet today because he's resting pretty good. And I think if we just rest him today and I spend a little more time with him, it may help. It is kind of warm in the car today, but he's resting pretty good. So what I've done is made everything as comfortable and cushy. He likes soft spots, so all my sleeping bag bedding is kind of bunched up, and pillows in places where he can sit and look out the window if he wants to. And then I provided him, you can see my toes, but I provided him a place with his water and food up inside the SUV door so that he doesn't have to jump out onto the floor of the tent at this stage of the game. So he can kind of spend his day just resting and chilling out and maybe getting better. Now, dogs can get depressed, and I had a dog in Costa Rica that I rescued because two different families of Americans left the other dog in Costa Rica, and it was a very depressed dog, and I was able to bring it back and had it for a couple of years down there, and then gifted it to an indigenous family who continued to love her until she passed away. But I am watching Ozzy for any signs of depression, but I think he just needs to rest some. These events are overwhelming for us and for our pets. So I think I told you this, but in case I didn't, let me repeat it. I am at the remnants of the Travelers Camp Fest, which kind of changed, and like I said, I forgot what the name was that Randy was using. It all began with R's. Perhaps I should have made some notes. Anyways, but it can be overwhelming for any of us. And personally, I'm finding that the addition of our new tail veil tent, which is the blue you see outside, has helped me tremendously. And I do think it's helped Ozzy as well. I'm concerned now that I make a way for him to more easily get up and down from the SUV to the tent floor without so much jumping. And because my lawn chair happens to be a fire pit rocker, it moves when he jumps into the seat. And then when he goes to jump from the seat of it up into the SUV, it moves again. So sometimes he's trying to do the jumping without the chair. So I need to find a solution that's going to be easy to travel with, and not cost me too much because of my budget. But I'm aware that's going to be a thing that I will change, that I will adjust, modify, whatever words we need to use. So this video is going to be a little longer because how do we deal with, animals who are traveling with us and we love them and we're trying really hard to provide for them a good